Nothing changes instantaneously. In a gradually heating bathtub, you'd be boiled to death before you knew it. Our Father, who art in heaven. Seriously? What the actual fuck?
Gilead doesn't care about children. Gilead cares about power.
Why does healing have to be the only goal? Why can't we be as furious as we feel?
For whatever man sows, so shall he reap.
Welcome to Above the Garage.
Hi friends! Today's interview needs no introduction. Elisabeth Moss herself kindly agreed to Zoom with us a couple Fridays ago, and then unbelievably generously exceeded the time we had been allotted many times over, only leaving after nearly an hour and a half. We discussed some pieces of later episodes that we will probably release as bonus content as the season continues. So this episode will be discussing through season 6, episode 3. She's as likable as a human being can possibly be, and we're quite confident you're going to enjoy this one. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good, how are you?
Good.
Thank you for joining us.
Are you still celebrating your Cubs win?
Yesterday, opening day.
Oh, yes. Yesterday. Not bad, right? Not a bad way to start the season. I'm going to count that as the start and not Japan.
I
thought you might.
I don't know what was happening there.
actually went to Padres opening day yesterday. I got to go to Paley Fest, which was so fun and amazing. Great job.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then my brother lives down here in San Diego, so I got to catch the Handmaid's baseball double. It's been awesome.
That's perfect. It's a perfect combination.
Yeah. It was really great seeing so many of you on stage the other day together. Great way to end the show and celebrate.
I mean, it's been a long time since we've done that, since we've all been on the same, like stage together like that. And it was really just trippy for all of us, I think, because we haven't seen some of that stuff in so long. So it just was so crazy to see like how far we've come.
Yeah.
I think all of us were legitimately thrown and in like not a bad way, but just like really watching the clips,
I noticed that, honestly,
Yeah.
as an audience member, you could tell that you were all affected by these clips because they're so old and they were kind of heavy clips for a while. I think there was only the one light.
Well, me and Eric and Yalin chose them.
Yeah, I mean, they're great clips. They're so good.
Yeah, we wanted to pick like, what we thought were some of the best scenes, but when you show them like back to back like that,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be like so many back to back. Do you know what I mean? Because then
Right, yeah.
it was definitely like, oh yeah, this is intense. Brad was joking that we did like the worst PR job because basically we all got up there and declared that the show was too dark to watch. And we were like, this is a nightmare. Why is anybody watching this show? And we got off stage and we were like, you're welcome, Hulu.
I mean, but we're all here right now.
Yeah.
So
Everybody's made it this far and knows what kind of show it is.
Yeah, but you guys are diehard, and I imagine fans listening to this are diehard, and we very much appreciate it because watching those clips, you're like, wow, you guys have been really strong. Thank you.
There was a lot of lighter moments peppered in between those clips, luckily, in real time.
Right, exactly. Like it wasn't obviously back to back to back,
Yeah. No, your voiceovers in the first couple seasons, they really lighten the show so much. They're so funny. It was a nice balance.
Yeah, they definitely provide a little bit of levity for sure.
Yeah. And also, in defense of those clips, my husband, brother, and I were there. My husband's watched it. Andy has not. And he was like, this show looks so good.
Yeah.
So it wasn't actually too heavy because I asked him that. I was like, you must think it's really depressing. And he's like, it looks really good.
That's good.
Yeah. So it was good.
Oh, that's good. I had that thought too. We're so inside of it and we're focusing on like episodes 9 and 10 right now. We're not looking back to season 1. And I was like, God, our show looks really good.
Yeah, right?
I was very proud. Yeah, I was. I texted Bruce that night when we got home. I was so proud of how good our show looked up there,
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's incredible. I mean, that is what drew us in. Also, we enjoy characters and relationships in the show, but the cinematography was just unparalleled when it came out,
Yeah, for sure. And the stories and the actors, oh my God, everyone's so good in the show. It's crazy.
Yeah, every
Right.
detail. I mean, we've talked to so many people in like the crew and stuff that just put so much like heart and
Yeah.
all of their artistic talent into this, and you can tell.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, projects I work on like tend to be like this, but I will say like nothing is like Handmaids as far as how much people care about it on our crew.
Yeah.
Like from the head of the department to their like deputies and down to dailies, like people are just so proud to, I think, to
Yeah.
be a part of the show. And it really, you don't always see that across the board.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Like if someone doesn't care, they don't last on our show. You know, they don't tend to then be around that long because it just doesn't fit.
Right. And yet there's such low turnover, it seems, with the crew throughout. It's just such a testament to how good it is to work there.
Yeah. Definitely from like season 2, there's a lot of the same people. And from season 4, I think those were like the 2 times that like we started to retain a lot of the same people. There's definitely less than 20 that are from season 1. I think even less than 15 or around 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, you made it. Good work.
You said you were working on 9 and 10. Is that in editing right now?
Yeah.
That's why Wendy didn't come to Paley Fest. I had asked Wendy if
Oh,
she was
really?
coming, and she was like, I was
Yeah.
going to come, but I'm so busy. Yeah.
I know it's such a bummer because a lot of our post team isn't going to be able to come to the premiere because our post schedule is super, super tight in order to make the deadlines that we need to make. I've never seen anything this tight. It's crazy. We kind of had to sign up for that and agree to that in order to start when we wanted to start, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Right.
But because of that, there's a lot of people in post who are just like physically can't come out and go to the premiere because they're working.
Part of the job.
Exactly. So yes, we are still working on 9 and 10. I think 9's pretty much almost picture locked. I think we could almost say it is. I was going to watch it this weekend again, just to make sure there wasn't anything else I wanted to do, but it's pretty much done. And then 10 just went back out to the network and studio. So we'll get some feedback from them.
I can't imagine how many times you've watched these episodes.
Yeah, right.
I know. Yeah. Quite a few times, but it's, they've come together so beautifully. Like I'm so excited about 9 and 10. I truly think they're like 2 of our best episodes, and everyone did such incredible work. And I think because kind of pursuant to what we were saying earlier, because everyone who works on it cares so much about the show, it felt like everyone just kind of left it all on the dance floor for 9 and 10,
Nice.
Yeah.
you know, and just really gave everything they had because they knew it was the end and they knew it was their last chance. And
Mhm.
you can totally tell there's so much heart in it and there's so much just, yeah, it's the 2 are they're really beautiful episodes, I think. So
We can't wait.
yeah, I'm so excited for people to see them.
But we must wait, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must wait a moment. They're not done.
We can make it that long.
I was only supposed to direct episode 10. And when I heard what episode 9 was about, the storyline was sort of broken to me. I raised my hand and said, can I also please direct episode 9?
Okay, that's very intriguing. Your directing is incredible, by the way. We love you.
Oh, thank you.
We love all of your episodes.
When you watch episode 9, especially the end, we have wanted people to film their reactions to watching the end of episode 9. Like it's one of those kinds of episodes where we hope.
We should do that. We'll do that and send it to you.
Yes, absolutely. Like please do.
Okay.
And we'll post it because like it's one of those things that I think the Game of Thrones had that one where it's like, wasn't it like the Red Wedding or whatever it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very intrigued.
It's pretty intense.
Love that for us.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome.
Can we know this? Are we going to feel better at some point?
I feel like the end is very hopeful, like the end. I feel like it's definitely not going to be what you expect. There's no way.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's any way you could guess it. But for me, it feels incredibly perfect and appropriate and exactly what it should be.
Okay.
Yeah. When we were shooting the final scene of 10, when we did the final take, which was like take 15, which is a lot of takes for us. We don't usually do that many. You guys were on set. You probably saw how fast we move.
Yeah, we've heard people say like usually 3 or 4 or 5 maybe.
Totally. It was kind of a complicated shot. And after we watched the final take of it, it was the only time I ever got emotional on set in the final block. And I turned to Stuart, cinematographer, and I was like, that's it. That's the way that this show ends.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So I feel that way about it. I do feel like it's hopeful. I do feel like it's positive. But I also, and I've been cautioning people are sort of, making sure people understand that like it's not the end of Gilead, this story, you know, like
Right.
obviously there's the testaments and there's more story to tell there. So it's not going to be a black and white bow for sure.
We definitely don't expect that. And I kind of love the show for that because that's not how life works either, right? So
Exactly. If we did that, you would hate it.
feel artificial.
Yeah. And it would feel like maybe kind of nice because you'd go, oh, okay, well, I feel happy and I'm not stressed anymore. But you'd think we were kind of lame for doing it.
Sure. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, another character we're really excited about this year is Wharton, Josh Charles.
Yeah.
Our interview with him was insane. He
Really?
was so funny. Like, it's so beyond.
It's wild.
It's bananas. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I'm so glad to hear that. He's the best. I love him. And part of the reason why, I mean, I wanted him to do the show was because of how he is as a person. I'm trying to turn my TV off because there's like a stolen vehicle pursuit on.
Oh,
And I'm like,
hard to pull your eyes away from that.
sort of like slightly distracted by it because I'm also like, what's gonna happen?
Yo, you won't believe this, but there was a stolen vehicle pursuit in my town like 2 weeks ago, and they ended up crashing into my mailbox and taking off on foot.
What?
So we lost the mailbox, but we gained a car, so it's cool.
That's exciting.
That's crazy.
Anyway, okay, yeah. So part of the reason why I wanted Josh to do the show is because our set has a very specific alchemy. There's no ego, like everyone's very collaborative. Everyone has a great sense of humor.
Yes, so funny.
Yeah, so I knew that he would fit in
Perfectly.
to that as well, you know, and I knew that like you cast someone because you know that they're going to be perfect for the role. And then it was also like, he's going to be so great on set.
It matters. Yeah, exactly. It's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally knew him only from comedy, like Drunk History.
Oh, okay.
That sort of stuff. Like that's where I knew him from. Like I got aware of him because of his comedy. So
yeah, there is like a sense of humor to Handmaids that is very, very hard to pin down.
yeah.
Yes.
Right. And I knew he would be able to do that because no one's playing anything for laughs. Like,
right.
It's obviously not a comedy, but there is a sense of humor to it. And I knew he'd be able to do it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. He was very flattered that you worked with him on The Veil and then asked him to do this.
Yeah.
I was so lucky. I was like, oh my God, he was the first and only person I spoke to about it.
Really?
Yeah, I was the only person we talked about.
He's perfect.
He's perfect. When this role came up, I was like, does anyone like have a problem with like it being somebody that was on my last show? And everyone was like, no, we love him so much. Do you think he'd do it? And I was like, let's talk to him. And I spoke to him for like 90 minutes and no one puts more thought into anything than Josh. Like he really takes so much time and he just wanted to talk about the character and talk about where Wharton was going. And he wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be like the stereotypical villain and mustache twirling. And I was like, yeah, that's actually not what we want at all. We want the opposite of that. And so
totally different. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we established that we were on the same page about what the character was going to be, he was in. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Cannot believe we got him.
I have to say that I very much appreciated the little slow-mo of him walking down the stairs when we first get introduced to him in New Bethlehem. I was like, wow, we're getting a slow-mo of him adjusting his jacket, going down the stairs. This has to be Lizzie, right? This has got to be Lizzie's choice.
Totally. We shot his whole entrance montage, like upstairs on the balcony and then coming down the stairs. Everything was all at 48 frames. Like I told him, I was like, I'm giving you like the biggest entrance. Like, there's so many more shots that aren't, not so many more, but there are a few more shots that aren't in the show. Maybe just actually one more shot. So I did shoot it in slow-mo, but the choice to ramp it up and go into slow motion as you're going, as you know, which is Wendy, the editor. That's all Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's this thing that she's been doing. We do it a couple times now. We do it now in episode 9 as well. I love it.
Episode 3 too, right? There's like the bookends of June walking in the woods.
Yeah, that's right.
That was really cool that she did that at the beginning and end.
But I love the idea of going into slow-mo. I like about the Josh one is he's coming down the stairs and then it goes into slow motion as he like buttons his jacket.
Yeah.
So cool.
Thank you so much.
That's such a thirst trap.
Totally.
Thirst trapped us.
Totally. Me objectifying Josh Charles is definitely what's going on in that moment. For sure.
Isn't the first shot too just like him standing on the balcony from the back and you're kind of like, you get this like cool establishing shot with the beach behind him. And it's very good.
Yep. And we debated whether or not to like show his face yet, like when, like when do we reveal who he is? And
Right.
I wanted to, the goal was not just because it's Josh Charles and we like looking at him. It wasn't that superficial, you guys, or wasn't at least all superficial.
Not entirely.
Not entirely. The goal was, there were a couple other ideas that we were playing with. One, that I wanted to give him a big entrance so that you knew as an audience that this was someone significant that you were meeting.
Yeah.
That this was a character in the show that was going to be very important and very significant. And it wasn't just going to be any random commander. Like, this was the commander.
Mhm.
This was the guy.
High commander.
The high commander. And then the other thing, whether or not people pick up on it, was I wanted to draw parallels with Nick. So we're always shooting the back of Nick's head. Like,
Yeah, we noticed.
yeah. Partially because Max has a great back of his head, but also because it just is a very powerful way of showing someone's, like, for some reason, when you go to the back of someone's head, you feel closer to them. It's like very intimate, and I don't know why.
Interesting, and I agree. I love shots from the back.
Yeah, we do it with June all the time too.
Yeah. It works. Well, we have to talk about Cherry Jones. We have to talk
Yes.
about the amazing, shocking.
We were all like literally in tears. Like, so good.
Yeah, I can't.
Incredible reunion. Moving, unexpected. You did great with that.
That's awesome.
And yet a thing that we had like kind of distantly hoped for, but never believed would happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
we didn't know she's dead. You never know.
Yeah.
But that was amazing and very exciting, and tears, and yeah.
I know. I couldn't believe it when they said that she was into coming back on the show. And I just was like, oh my God, yes. That would be incredible if she could be a part of the final season. And, the season is the whole show, obviously, but this season in particular is so much about motherhood and is so much about, creating a better future for the children of the world.
Right.
And how do you do that without then kind of going back to June's mom and talking about that relationship or exploring it or having a new development in that relationship, because it's so crucial and such a big part of June's choices in the future. And June, what she's going to do next. I can't even tell you I literally can't tell you like what a big part of it is.
Well, and what a beautiful thing for June to like have that. To be able to find someone from before that she can have that like cathartic kind of moment with is wonderful.
Yeah. And to know that like, it's, there's so many things that we needed June to talk about that like she can't talk about to anyone else really. And, she needs permission to go and be able to do the things that she has to do. And there's really no one else that you can kind of get that from. And Holly was the one that taught her how to fight. Holly was the one that taught her to be who she is. Like, Holly was all those years ago, like, wasn't home, was at protests, was in groups, was like, just that's who made her who she is, June.
Yeah. That's why we, as an audience, I think always wanted Holly also to see her, or for June's sake, for Holly to see what June had become, and that she had became this like insane fighter.
Yeah.
Badass. And it's so fulfilling to have that reunion.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I was really excited. And then I couldn't believe I was going to direct Cherry Jones. Like, that was insane.
I know.
That was insane.
She's amazing.
I never gotten to direct her, and I was just like, oh, I'm so nervous. Like, how do you direct Cherry Jones? Like, she's the reason why we cast her was because they were like, who do you want to play your mom? And I was like, Cherry Jones, like, because she's like my favorite actress. So,
no brainer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, how do you, she was so generous though. She was so lovely and so made it so easy on me.
Yeah, I've heard she's so nice and easy to work with.
She's so nice and she's so easy. She has every right to be like a theater actress who is maybe precious or demanding or, she has every right to be that because she's one of the greatest actresses of all time.
Right.
And she's, one of the easiest actors I've ever worked with. But, it's just, it's unbelievable and humble. So humble. One of those actresses that has no idea how good she is. She would do a take and just our crew would be in tears. Now they see a lot of shit, our crew. Like they see a lot of pretty damn good acting. And people being emotional all the time. They're used to this. And they were in tears watching her. And yet she would be like, can I go again? Or can I watch it? Or what about this? Or be, oh, okay, I guess it was fine. You know, no, I don't want to do it again. Let's move on. You know, just so humble. It was just
Right.
so incredible.
Incredible.
And how amazing for her to just come back to this character after a few years.
Yeah.
You know, she hasn't been in the show since, what was it, season 2?
I think season 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just, it feels like right back into, I mean, with the growth of what's happened to her, but it's like,
Yeah.
she just falls right back into it.
She really did. And yet I feel like also, like you said, yeah, there is such growth there. Like she does feel like, I did feel like it was a different Holly that she was bringing with, you know, with the few years that she had lived in between.
For sure. She's also changed a lot. Yeah.
Right?
Her own trauma that she's experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, it did feel like there was this different woman there at the same time. It was really interesting. But yeah, I think, I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but I would imagine it was great to be able to come back and kind of gracefully finish that story before we ended, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of characters reuniting or being in scenes that were unexpected.
Yeah, there's a lot of that this season.
Yeah.
We are loving the fact that so many characters that either haven't been in scenes before together or it's been a long time since we've seen them together, we're like getting all these pairings. And it's so fun to just watch them interact and just know that these actors are so, like, everyone is so good at being these characters that they can just show up in a scene with another character and still be themselves, but also make it really, the dynamic is so interesting.
Yeah.
So we're loving that.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that this season for sure. There's a lot of like, oh, I never would have expected these 2 or these 3 people to be in a scene together or these 2 people to be talking or like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. I have a joke that sometimes that I feel like sometimes Handmaids is like the most elevated soap opera in the world in the sense of it's like it's as if you took like the stakes of a soap opera with like people dying and people having affairs and just crazy shit happening, but shot it like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, had the best actors you've ever seen.
Every shot's a painting. Yeah.
Every shot's a painting, the best locations you've ever seen, incredible music, but like the storylines are wild, especially this season.
Yeah.
And if you start looking at the show through that lens, you'll really see what I'm talking about, especially this final season. There is the best one, which is in episode 3, which is obviously Nick, Luke, me and Moira.
And,
such a good
God, it was amazing.
We have like a lot of things to say about episode 3. We were big fans of episode 3.
Oh, good.
For many, many reasons.
I'm so glad.
Yeah, I think you could really see also that David Lester is like such a fan. We got to talk to him in October and he was such a delightful human being and you can tell he's like the biggest fan of Handmaid. So like he was excited to talk to us and he's
so amazing.
He's great, yeah.
He's so amazing.
Oh, I'm so glad you guys love him.
But there's so many things, like even like the vines and the cage behind where you and Nick are having the emotional talk, like so many things from earlier seasons that I feel like, you know, you can really feel in that episode.
That's awesome.
And all of them. This whole season has a lot of earlier season callbacks and feelings that is nice to feel.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely warrants, if people are up for it, like going back and watching as much as possible of stuff, because there are a lot of things that do tie back to earlier seasons for sure. I mean, one little story about that scene was I couldn't look at OT during it. So when I go over and hug Luke and then I turn around and there's Nick and he walks in, I was standing next to OT and he kept doing this thing where he would look at Nick and then he would just kind of slowly turn his head to look at me. And I literally couldn't even have him in my peripheral vision because I could see his head turning. So I was just like looking over at Moira or just sort of like anywhere else that I could. I'm not like a person who breaks
character
laughing. Like I'm really good.
Right.
Primarily because I feel like the crew hates it and I feel bad about that. So as soon as you start like giggling, I feel like the crew's like, shut up.
Can we just finish the scene?
Yeah. So can we just get through this? This is not funny. I couldn't keep it together. I could not keep it together. The way he kept looking at me and I died every time. I was literally like shaking with laughter, you know. It was so awkward.
It's a great scene.
It's a great scene.
It's so good.
And I love also Samira's reading of, what does she say? She's like, Nick or something. Or she was like, oh, or
Yeah. She says, wow. She says, wow.
wow. Oh, it's so great.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
It's so great.
It's so good. And then what's up? And the head nod, just like, it's just so funny.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Everybody's awkward in different ways and for different reasons. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just one of those things where like you don't have to do anything. Everyone just stands in the spot
Yeah.
and it's all there. But honestly, it's something that I've talked about this before. Like it's something that you can't, it's why I love doing television and why I love doing a show that goes for so many seasons, which is obviously not entirely up to me, but like when it happens, it's great because you don't get that tension and you don't get to play that scene unless you've had 60 something episodes or whatever it is.
Years with, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you can just have two people, like everything with Serena and June has so much weight to it because of the past 5
Because of the
seasons,
history.
because of the history.
Right.
You don't get that in a film. You don't get that anywhere else. Like
Yeah.
it's only in television spending so much time doing a show that you get to have that.
Yeah.
Most of my career has been in TV and it's why I love it so much is it's almost this like immersive kind of experience where you spend 9 years doing something. And, you know, the end of season 5 is just the only dialogue is, hi, June, hi, Serena. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like the most tense, dramatic moment that you can end an entire season on. And that's just because of 5 years of tension.
Yeah. I've got to ask you about Serena since we're talking about her.
Yeah.
I find that the writing for her character in particular is just, it's incredible. Like, I think over the past 6 seasons, it's just been very, I don't know, just on point, I suppose, is one thing I'd say.
Good.
And the performance by Yvonne, just incredible.
She's amazing, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And it always makes me question my feeling towards her. Every moment, like 1 minute I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling sorry for you. And then the next moment I'll be like, wait, you're Serena Joy Waterford. I'm not feeling sorry for you. You know what I mean?
I do.
I find it really hard sometimes to understand my own feelings towards her while watching. And I was just wondering, do you think there is such a thing as redemption for a character like her?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think that is June. I mean, maybe that's June coming through, but
yeah,
I do. And I think that it's all Yvonne, honestly. I mean, yes, of course, the writing has been incredible for her, but I don't think anyone else can do that.
Yeah.
The way that she has done it, you know?
For sure.
And you've heard her talk about Serena. She's not the biggest fan of Serena, I feel like.
I think it's interesting.
I'm always defending Serena.
That's why I feel like you two are kind of at odds about this particular topic, and that's so fascinating to me.
I know. I literally will sit next to her and she'll say stuff about Serena and I'm like, yeah, but you know, I really think that she's trying to like I'm always defending Serena because I do see this complexity and I do see this humanity. And I think that that's what you're feeling is you're feeling this person come through that you desperately want to please choose to do the right thing. Finally.
Just be a good person, right? Yeah.
Just please be a good person. And you wouldn't feel that if it wasn't in there, in her and in Yvonne's performance.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was just black and white, you wouldn't want that to come out, but you feel it and you feel her struggling with it and you feel her wanting to be a good person too and not knowing necessarily all the time how to do that.
Yeah.
I find her story to be so moving because, and I think we do it beautifully this year, of her goal in life is to have a child. And she will do anything to protect that child and she will do anything to create a better future for him. And that is behind every decision she makes. And her arc, oh God, it kills me. I cannot watch her work in episode 10 without just dying, just absolutely bursting into tears. It's so beautiful.
I can't wait to see it.
I found it funny when I was watching episode 1 in particular, the whole train scenes when, again, I'm feeling sorry for her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I want you to get away. And then she starts mouthing off about the Gilead.
Oh, that was, yeah.
I know.
And I'm just like, oh, bitch.
Like, come on. Exactly.
Like, I'm trying to feel good for you right now. And now you're ruining it.
Yeah.
I was rooting for you.
Yeah, we were all rooting for you.
Yeah. And that's what I love about June's reaction. She's like, shut up, Serena. What are you doing?
Right.
I'm trying to defend you. don't go off on how America is fucked. Like it's so Serena. She just like gets to the edge of being a good person and doing the right thing, and then
Yeah,
just
and then-
falters, and you're like, oh, so frustrating.
Yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
a lot of it is Yvonne's performance. She's just incredible. And the fact that she hasn't won any type of Emmy award or something for this role is just absolutely insane to me.
It's absurd. I think it's totally absurd. It's one of the most beautiful performances I've ever seen in anything. And by a lead actress, supporting actress in TV, film, whatever. Like, and I've had the privilege of standing across from it, take after take after take after take. And I know how
Yeah.
I know how legitimate it is. You know what I mean? I've seen behind
Yeah.
the scenes of it. It's real. It's a beautiful performance. I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like that about a lot of people on the show, though. Like OT, I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, he's done unbelievable work on this show.
I think this season as well, I think he's definitely upped his even higher.
Yeah. I think him and Max both have gotten a lot more range this season to be able to show off.
I agree.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I texted Max the other day, something in episode 9. I was like, this is the best work you've ever done. This is the best. He's absolutely doing his best work. And same with OT. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we did the scene where he gets out of jail.
Like on the rooftop, they're standing with Moira
Yes.
and Mark.
Yes, with Mark. We had like rehearsed it, and like OT is like this, like me, he won't do it in rehearsal. And I'm the same way. I won't do it in rehearsal. Because why? It's a waste of time. No one is capturing it.
Yeah.
And he's the same way. But he came out of that gate and he handed in that performance that is in the episode. And you could just tell, like me, Sam, Samira, we were all like, oh, okay, that's what you're gonna do. Okay, got it. He just like, he did not bring any of that in rehearsal. And then we were all like, shit, that's amazing. He was oh my God, it was so good in that scene. I know that there was a big movement to this final season, like really give the time on camera and in the story and on the script to the people that to our regulars, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. We're following the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're very happy that you upgraded Naomi because she's great.
I know. I love her. I think Ever is such a phenomenal actor. She's one of those actors that's like so good at comedy that
Yes.
it's easy to kind of like forget that she's a phenomenal dramatic actress. There is a nuance and a vulnerability to her performance that is just stunning. She's fantastic. That's all I'll say.
We're excited. We love her and Bradley together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun new combo.
Oh, so good. So good. And that's exactly another example of like, I want to see how Naomi's story ends. You know, that's important to me as a fan. Like, I
Yeah,
love that
definitely.
character and I don't want her to get, the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, Ever and Stephen Kunkin was it the first interview with actors that we did on the show?
Oh, really?
It was, I think, yeah.
It was close to the beginning. We interviewed them together, and it was one of the
It was
most
so
fun
fun.
things I've ever done in my life. Like they're
Oh,
just
I'm
so
sure.
like fun together, and
Yeah, they're the best.
it was a blast. We felt like we were at a party with them. It was wonderful.
Oh, I love that. That's so great. Yeah, they're both. Steven's awesome too. He's phenomenal. He's definitely one of those actors that was like, does he have to go?
Yeah. We miss him, but it's
totally.
like weird because
We
it's like,
like
well,
him.
Putnam deserved to die, but we don't really want to see
Yeah.
him go. We don't want to see
No.
Stephen Kunkin go.
And as I'm sure you know, he's like the nicest guy. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yes.
like Joe, it's like Joe is the nicest guy ever. He's the most gentlemanly man I've ever met.
Yeah.
Like, so polite, so kind, just so lovely. It's like, do we have to kill him?
Do I have to kill him with my bare hands?
Wait, do I have to kill him?
No.
Exactly.
Well, your performance, we're just over saying how good you are. So
Yeah.
to be fair.
Oh, don't worry.
I do feel bad for you because everyone takes it for granted.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like, it's given.
Which is like, duh.
It's like unbelievable.
I appreciate the kind words, and also we don't have to talk about me at all. I like talking about other people.
It's so true though, and we're just like, yeah, of course, because it's Elisabeth Moss, and everybody's just
Well, thank you very much. I do feel like I tried this year to bring a bit more vulnerability to June.
you see that.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. Because
Definitely.
I feel like in past seasons, she's obviously been almost more of an anti-hero, kind of going in sometimes a bit of a Walter White direction, which is awesome.
Right.
And I wanted to do that. And it was really fun to explore that, just how hard she got.
Right.
Right. But I didn't want her to end that way. And I thought that I wanted to feel that she was still that woman, that every woman, that like you or like any of us, if any of us had ended up in that situation, how would we be? And if we were our best selves. And I wanted to feel that she didn't always know what the right thing to do was, and that she wasn't always sure of everything she does, and that she doesn't always maybe even say the right thing or make the right choice, and have her actually get to a place, you know, where obviously, like, I'm not going to spoil things, but of course there's an arc to the season, but I didn't want her to just be perfect and badass the whole time, because that's boring, you know?
Yeah. Well, she's also doing a lot of like introspection this season, I feel like.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. And more than you've ever seen her do before.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the whole season for her is about how do I create a safer future for my children?
Right.
And where do I do that from? And is it a good idea to just go to Alaska and live with my mom and raise Nicole and, you know, fight from there? Or do I go back in? Or how do I be the mother that I'm supposed to be? What does that look like? And what sacrifice do I have to make? And I think that's something that she's really, obviously, really, really struggling with. And she also, you know, she knows that there's certain battles that only she can fight.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I like the scenes. You and Samira, I think, have some really, really great scenes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And conversations and just everything between you.
Yeah. It was a conscious, we really wanted to make sure that Moira had a great season, and you know, and sometimes it's hard in an ensemble because you can't always, you've got 10 episodes, right? And it's like there's so many good actors, and in order, you can't just like throw somebody in and give them one good scene. You have to build a story for them. And I think that we all felt like, okay, it's Moira's time. Like, we really feel like she has a story to tell that we haven't done yet. I'm so happy with the fact that she got so much to do this year, and she just was so incredible and just really embraced it, and she was beautiful this year.
Yeah, we've missed her.
Definitely.
We do, yeah.
I know.
We've totally missed seeing her more the last couple of seasons.
I agree. And we felt that, and we felt this kind of sense of, well, do you hop in and try to give her like this one episode or one thing, but then it's just kind of feels like you're forcing it, and you know, so you can't really do that. And so I'm really glad. I'm really happy with the way the writers did it this year. Is really perfect.
Even from the moment, I think it's in episode 1, even when she's in the scene with Mark Tuello.
Yeah.
Oh, love that scene. So beautiful, by the way, that scene.
Thank you.
Yeah. You just know, like, okay, the setup feels so good there.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yeah. That was, yes, from the get-go. Exactly right. Like, from the get-go, it's like, this is going to be Moira's season. And you have to set it up from the beginning.
Yeah. I think the lighting even this year has been stepped up even a notch from previous seasons. It's incredible. Like, as Aubrey just mentioned, I'm remembering how beautiful that lighting from the window behind Moira Tuello was. Like, it was amazing.
I mean, we had the perfect pairing of Nicola Daly and Stuart Biddlecombe this year. And that particular scene was Nick, and she is just so unbelievably talented. And there's very few shows that you could get away with that shot. You can't see that. You literally can. It's so blown out from the back that you barely can see the actors.
They're like in a haze, kind of.
They're like in a haze.
So good, though.
There's so few shows that would let you do that, and there's only one shot. There's no coverage because the director decided not to shoot any coverage, so there's only one shot. So there's no option. There's no way you're going to go to any other shot, and that's what I love about our show is we do stuff like that. We do stuff where and we get permission to do stuff like that, and it's embraced. It's not like a rebellious thing. It's like, you're supposed to do stuff like that. You're supposed to take risks like that and be confident in yourself and your choices so that you don't, you know, rely on any conventional way of telling a story.
Yeah. I mean, you know that every element that you're putting into it is telling the story the way you want to tell it. Right. So,
yeah. And for me, that shot of the two of them backlit, it always has to, you know, it can't ever just be because it's pretty. Like, you have to always make sure that it is a creative choice or a story choice.
Yeah.
And for me, like, that, the idea of doing that in one shot was, you were supposed to feel like why aren't we going into coverage? Why aren't we going into close-up? What's happening? Why are we just sitting in this shot? Why are we? And then, of course, it's revealed that Mark is going to ask her and drop the bomb about Mayday. And basically, yeah. And you're supposed to wonder, did he want to do that all along? And was that his, plan was to kind of rope her in?
Yeah.
But you need to kind of create that tension in the moment in order to do that. You know what I mean? And sometimes just letting the camera sit there or move in really slowly, even if it's on a subconscious level as a viewer, you're like, why am I looking at this right now? And you start to pay attention,
Yeah.
Tuello's really grabbed my heart over the last 2 seasons. Like, I love that man.
Yeah.
I flip-flop with him. I don't know how I'm going to end up.
too.
We'll have to see.
That's so interesting. How do you guys feel about him and Serena? Do you like him and Serena?
Oh, God.
I'm so okay.
Kimberly is like...
Kimberly ships the hell out of it.
Right.
She's very into it.
You want it.
I
you
want it badly.
She wanted it badly.
And
it's very sad.
the chemistry between them, I've always felt it was there, and like
Totally.
There's no question. That one time they almost kissed in the hotel room in like season 5, it was like, that was a great scene because you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't believe she just did that.
I was like, damn it.
I love the two of them together.
I know, right?
I know. I do think it's complicated in the sense of like, obviously she's not the best person all the time. So I don't know how he feels about her.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they addressed it at Paley Fest a little. Sam did answer that question at Paley Fest.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I saw that.
Because they had just shown clips. One of the clips they showed was the coconut and treason, the Serena and Tuello and the cigarettes. Yeah.
Love that scene.
But right before that, they'd shown Serena locking June in the car and not allowing her to see Hannah. And so here's like, I think that I was falling for that pre-Gilead Serena. That's how I picture her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was hard on Sam to be reminded of what, not a great person Serena was at certain times.
Yeah. And he said he didn't watch.
Oh yeah, I never knew that. He said that he didn't watch the show or he didn't watch past a certain point or something. He only watched flashbacks of Serena or something like that, which I didn't know.
Interesting.
That would explain how it's easier.
Someone spoil me. Is there any Serena and Tuello this season? Because I wasn't expecting anything.
I think that ship has sailed, but maybe
Okay.
Lizzie's looking off into the distance. So
I know, because you were the one who said about it. You were totally the one who asked about it. So now I'm wondering.
I'm trying to think of like what you guys have seen and not seen.
Okay, so that's a yes.
All right, so that's promising, Kimberly. Maybe this is when it's finally going to happen.
There's some hope left for you.
I had given up all hope.
I don't mind teasing a little something.
Ooh.
I love them together. I mean, I think that like will it ever be, I mean, could it ever work? I don't know. But I think they have incredible chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when we were watching the coconuts and treason scene, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like,
damn.
you cut the tension with a knife.
Damn. Yeah.
Many of their scenes.
Yeah.
They've talked about how like they're very protective of their story and they're very protective of those two characters, of like making sure it doesn't go too far, but also really loving the sort of
playing into it also
tension between them. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you for that, because
thank you for making Kimberly's day.
I'm feeling good now.
Good. I'm glad. Oh, good.
They've always been her ship is those two.
I love that. I think that's a great one.
I will do enjoy Nick and June, obviously, as well. Obviously.
We're all here. We've all gathered here for a reason.
We've all gathered here.
Oh, good.
Honestly, their chemistry, it's the chemistry between them that like really just caught us. I don't care about relationships on TV usually. So this one has been amazing.
Same.
I love Nick and June. Like, I love Nick and June. I ship Nick and June for sure. Like, they're my favorite part of the show. I love them. And it's extremely important part of the show to me. But I've always felt that in order to make them work, Luke and June have to work. So what I love about the season is how much work we put into Luke and June.
Yeah.
And making sure that like they also have a really good story, because
for sure
there's no triangle if you don't have all three points, right?
Right.
It's very true.
The conversations being had are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. She does. I mean, she says in episode 3, she does love Nick. Absolutely. It is in love with him now, like presently in the show, in love with him.
Right. Versus past tense. Right.
Yes. And that is just a fact. And that is absolutely so obvious. I really wish there was like this beautiful, perfect world that they lived in
For sure.
where they could, but that's just not the world that they live in. So it's always going to be complicated.
I loved in episode 3, it was fun to see you guys. I didn't realize until I watched you moving through a water park, which I never had on my bingo card, but very fun. I didn't realize usually you guys are just in the same space, not moving that much. And it was fun to see you like moving around the water park while having these conversations and bantering. And I just really loved those scenes in episode 3.
It's felt so natural, and you got to go deeper with what you were saying to each other than you have in a long time, or maybe ever in the show.
Yep.
So
ever, probably.
Yeah.
Totally. I love the fact that they're sort of stuck in this strange circumstance together, and it's kind of like, all right, well, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
We have a 5-10 minute walk ahead of us. So how's it going? And the final scene of that episode, I don't know if DL talked about this at all, but David Lester, but it used to end earlier, that scene. So the original version of that scene was basically them saying goodbye in the way that they usually say goodbye. And I read it and I was like, what if we were aware of the fact that we always do this scene?
It's so good.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And what if we commented on it? What if we brought that into the scene? The fact that like we're literally
I love that you did that.
Yeah, like we're literally playing the Nick and June scene that we always play at somewhere at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Where they get together and then they're like, goodbye. I'll never see you again.
Yeah.
And then of course, like we know, like they're probably gonna see each other again.
2 or 3 days later, cut to
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, I guess I gotta go across the border again. Who's gonna get me over?
Well, and you know what's so great about that is the fact that like the whole episode has been more like open and honest, and so that moment felt so like earned at that point, because you were like, they're being like really real in this episode. They're not going to just be like, well, bye, I guess. Like,
it was so good.
So that was a great decision.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, the writers really embraced it and wrote this beautiful end that you then saw, which was this see you soon, which I love. Although I will always want the version that we did, a version that was, he says, see you soon, June Osborne. And I say, see you soon, Nick Blaine. And I know, and I will go to my grave wanting that version, but I was overruled. I was outvoted.
Oh, that's painful.
I know.
Just get Wendy to send it to us.
Wendy.
Yeah.
I'll just record it for you guys. I'll just say it and you can just play it over the episode.
Excellent.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really fun. That was there's a couple things I feel like in that scene. I mean, that episode is probably the most like Max and I. Like that's a very close to.
It's more minutes than you had on screen together in season 5.
Yeah. There's some kind of sense of humor stuff in there. And then that final scene is very Max and I. That's we really got to bring ourselves into that moment and our friendship, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It was beautifully shot too, in the woods with the headlights across the trees. And
Nicola Daly, man, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
That woman, she is just unbelievable. She's just such a brilliant cinematographer. I'm so lucky we found her.
Well, us Australians are claiming it, so congrats on that.
I know, it took me a while to get that straight. I was like, is she Australian? Is she British? What's happening? Because she's like kind of both, I guess. Like she lived in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. She told us that.
Did you guys get to talk to her?
We did. She was lovely.
She's awesome.
Oh yeah, and we got to see her on set too. She came to see us because she was in for something, and so she heard we were there.
Good.
So we got to meet her in person and interview her before that, and it was lovely. She's the best.
That's awesome.
We'll have to interview her again after this season finishes, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, you should talk to both of them. Talk to her and talk to Stuart, and just like I felt so lucky that we got both of them this year. That was crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that we could also bring Stuart back and be able to end the show with him was amazing. Like it was a very cool to get them both was very, very cool. Yeah.
Well, just thinking about other things you have coming out, you've got Shell coming probably this year.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
I'm hoping that comes into theaters this year. That would be great.
Nice.
I love that film, and it was so fun to work with Max in a different capacity. And
role reversal.
Yeah, it was really, really cool because we're very close, him and I, and it felt like the shorthand was just unbelievable. And he would ask my advice as a director and, also knows me so well as an actor. So he knows what he can do with me. And it was just very, very easy and smooth and fun. And it felt just, I mean, it sounds so obvious to say, but it felt just so incredibly collaborative.
Yeah.
And I know everyone says that about everyone they work with, but this is truly collaborative. This is where like he has no problem saying anything to me and I have no problem saying anything to him. And there's no worry about, oh, that's not your role on this one. You know, like you're the, you know, it didn't feel like, well, now I'm the director. So now you have to do what I say. You know, it wasn't like that at all. Yeah, it was really such a fun experience.
Did he also shoot the back of your neck?
Did he?
I bet he did.
I feel like he did not.
Oh, come on. Missed opportunity.
No.
Reshoots.
It is a Lizzie special.
I mean, I don't know if my back of the neck is kind of up to his back of the neck, if we're being honest.
It's covered in hair is the only.
Yeah, you can't quite get the whole thing that he's working with. It's actually become like a joke at how much I love shooting the back of Max's head. Like I would like not even ever really shoot his face, just shoot the back of his neck.
That's so funny.
You just spin around.
Yeah, turn around.
Yeah, you're doing great. I love the performance. If you don't mind just doing a little spin, we're just gonna
just face the wall when you say that. That'd be great.
Like turning around. Yeah, it's just your face is sort of messing with my shot. No, his face ain't bad either.
No, he's lovely. We got to interview him on set and he was the nicest and it was so fun. So
oh, good. I'm so glad.
Love everybody.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Okay, for real, you gotta go. Thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. This is amazing.
This has been so fun.
I really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. I'm so glad I finally got to do this. I feel like I've been like wanting to do it for so long. So thank you so much for having me. And I would love to download about the finale and get your guys' thoughts after it airs.
Yes.
If you guys are still doing it or you still want to. Like
absolutely not. We do not want to talk to you again.
We'll see what we can do. All right.
Okay, good. I was kind of like hoping we would talk about the finale episodes because I just think that's the most fun to kind of talk about it at some point.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Just let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be awesome.
Don't forget to record yourselves watching 9, okay?
Yes, we will.
Oh, God. Okay.
I want to see it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much. Have a great day.
See
Bye.